Good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah LeeAnn.
Um, I am excited to be tuning in with you today because I have no idea where we're going. But I guess when you tune in, it is about the pause and about allowing whatever's there to pop up, the listening in.
Hmm.
So today's or this week's gene key is 62. And with the shadow of intellect, moving to the city of impeccability through precision. Even though I know people that this features very prominently in their charts, and I can kind of see how it applies in their life, I don't know how to talk about it very generally. I'm hoping that you can guide this conversation. I mean, intellect, I know, don't we all? Um, and the shadow of intellect. And what I loved about Richard Rudd in his audio transmission on this key, how he went into the ancient wisdoms and how their way of seeing the world was very unified. They didn't have as much of this right and left brain division. And so everything was, if you want to consider it with one mind, is how they looked at the world. So their philosophers, their teachers, their wisdoms, their religions were all focused that way. And then pretty much since BC, we've moved into this duality. So coming from the this or that, black or white, right or wrong, good or bad. And we're evolving again into a mind that is more I don't know if triennial is a word, but it's Trinity. It's three parts of it, and I don't know if that means it's bringing in the Christ consciousness of our heart, if that means it's bringing in our more divine, etheric, unseen sources of wisdom. I don't know, but I do know it's happening because I can feel it in me. Do you have an example of how you would explain the trinity of our intellect at this time?
Well, it's interesting because when I kind of listened to part of that transmission, he talked about that the first part was like we scheduled everything through time. It's like
Right.
we started putting timestamps on things, and I think when we get into that third part, that the past is kind of starting to meld away, and we're really getting into the hyper presence of our nature. And so it's all of it. It's I guess the multidimensional aspect of it. And so we're not so stuck or well, not stuck. It's not the word. We're not
Time
so
limited.
rigid
Yeah.
in what how we perceive things. I love what he says about the fact that what we so assume as fact today becomes fable tomorrow because we are so evolving at such a rapid rate. It's like you're so trying to hold on to something as fact when it changes on you. And so it just makes me giggle a little bit. And all we can do is utilize um, what we have now as our multidimensional sensory being to be, I love the word impeccable, um, because that is your authentic being. And
And then tell me about precision because I understand the time part. That was fascinating to me because and we have been talking about how time feels like we're in a different, like we're living in the past, the present, the future, all at the same time. So to me, that's a trinity that we are collapsing the delineation of having to have time and date stamp on it.
Right.
Um, it- which, so tell me, how does precision, the way it's defined in this gift, what does that look like? I want to know what it feels like because I want to know when I'm in
Okay.
it.
Okay. So for me, from my understanding of precision, because we're such hungry creatures for all kinds of information, right? And then we finally can then choose what's useful. That's the difference.
Oh, so
Intellect,
like a
just for,
discern, is it like a
I
discernment?
think so, I
Mhm.
believe so, that it is more about what is useful for us as a collective species moving forward. It's more of a stewardship of getting to that impeccability. Like it's it's harnessing our what our thoughts, our emotions, like what is the ultimate goal here? Like what do we want to create while we are here?
So, so this is a word I've been playing with. I don't know when I picked it up, sometime in the last 6 months. Um, and I actually write it in my journal every day when I talk about I'm going to clean this, I'm going to clear this, I'm going to curate the space, the energy, my body,
Right.
so that it feels very much like if I'm a temple or a museum, like this piece would be amazing right here, or on my altar or on the mantle or in the bathroom. Whereas, nope, that goes in I've been doing that culling as well. Talk about C's, because then there's also create. But then, so is that what the precision is where I'm like being, ooh, this would be amazingly right here with this vase of flowers. I mean, like, I'm thinking of it in beauty terms.
Yes. Well, and I think that that's probably really in alignment with your unique design.
Okay. So for you, what does it look like? Yeah, because I am all about like creating beauty within and without. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's really useful. I think for me, it's complexity. Like, okay, Suzanne, we don't. There's certain things where there is such complex things. How can I can then now choose to simplify parts for me? I mean, it is beauty, but it's the simpleness of life and embracing that aspect for me.
Okay. So, but being precise that this is something I want,
Right.
kind of like I didn't do this very well before. I would have these supplements and it says take two, take three. Now I pick up the bottle and I feel into it and I'm like, one today. I'm,
Right.
or none,
Right.
or it's weird, but it's almost like I'm getting the impulse as to, you don't need that today. This is good for you today. Actually, double up on this one today, with the electrolytes and stuff. So to me, that's okay. So I would not have called that precision. I think of a surgeon with the precision of a cut, or um, an artist or an engineer with the precision of that design. And I'm kind of messy in both of those when you've seen me cook.
But that's you're listening with precision to what's useful.
Thank you. Okay, I wouldn't have thought of it that way. I love that. And then, so then impeccability. Now, this is a weird word to me because I remember the first time I heard the word impeccable, I thought it was kind of good enough. I know. And this, well, I mean, that's how it was used in the sentence, is that, it's okay. It's doing okay. And I can't remember what book that was in, but anyway, and now I'm going, oh, wait a minute. Impeccability is like the pinnacle, like, you know, this is the best. This is the best me that I am putting forth. This is my essence in its most pure form. Is that impeccability?
When I feel into impeccability, I feel integrous and I feel coherence
Oh,
within ourselves.
okay. Okay.
It's like all of it's coming together. There's no like herky
Well,
jerky.
even if there are
Right.
outside influences,
But it's,
there's, I just imagine a force field. Like, nope, my impeccability doesn't even allow that into my field, or it doesn't affect me because I'm in my essence. I'm in my wholeness. I love that. Now I have an image and I have a sense of feeling it in my body, which is how I can feel that this is true. I love that. Um, I have a question for you. How can we play with new moon energies this week? It's actually new today.
mm-hmm.
I don't know when we're recording this. I don't know when people will hear this, but anytime there's new moon energies, at the same time that there's a lot of energy being pulled into stasis through Mercury retrograde. I mean, we're still have a bit more time in that. Yet this new moon energy makes me want to start to move forward in creating. I've been working on redoing my website, and so I have all these pieces and I'm like, well, do I create them? I just don't release them. Like, so now I'm like trying to figure out how can I play with this energy that's creative and wanting to move forward, yet feeling that there's also a lot of pushback on getting it completed.
Well, this new moon is in Cancer, which is very watery and very emotional. And it's focused on familiar or the family, the themes of home, um, your emotional security, your connections, and your personal needs for those that you care for. And so this is deeply personal as far as your own sanctuary, strengthening that sense of self within, addressing any emotional wounds from the past, and really, I guess, being more impeccable within
Yeah.
yourself, right? Being more precise of your honoring those feelings. And because the emotions, if you are really listening into your heart, the emotions are telling you something, unless you're picking up other people's, and that's another story. But like, if you really truly feel your heart and follow your intuitive knowing, that precision comes out. You start getting precise in following the thread that matters to you, your soul thread that matters to you, and following that arc.
So I just finished that really intense but so well written book by Elizabeth Gilbert. Um, what is it? Walking to the River, walking all the way to the river. And talk about healing, or it did feel healing for me. It felt like I not only became aware of where I have given myself away in love and to be loved, like what parts of me I just lost to be loved, to feel love. And because it's about codependency and about being an addict. She actually declares that she's an addict for love. And we always think of addiction as something that, you go to the 12-step program and you get into recovery. And she uses that example that of what the drug does to her system and the drug of love, of feeling. that excitement of all of that. And it was hard because of all the different awarenesses of her arc of recovery. Um, and I and it was written so personally that it felt very universal. Like
Mm.
everybody who reads this book is going to get something for themselves, if that makes sense. And it was intense. And there were days where I had to put it down for a week and then I'd pick it back up and I'd read 50 pages. And then I was like, "Mhm." So I feel like I've actually healed on that journey
Mm.
a lot. And I think that's what has opened up this space for me to feel more of my own precision and impeccability, um, which makes me feel creative again because I haven't been feeling very creative. So,
It feels like stability within you. So that's like you're enhancing that stability and security within yourself of giving that type of love and
to
one,
myself,
to yourself. Exactly. And I think that there's two different kinds of love. There's the I call the little love, which is the mm, I don't know. Um, it needs to be satiated kind of love. And then there's the big love. There's the universal love that is there, ever present, ever mothering,
yeah,
ever.
that we forget when we're in our little girl, needy, not unsure, uncertain, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And that little girl constantly needs love because she's lost her big love.
So it's coming back and with precision to give that love to ourselves, that compassion to ourselves, that I know I've made mistakes. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
back down and center.
And constantly surrendering to a higher power. I mean, this is the thing about, she was going to her meetings, and in those recovery rooms is where she did so much of her healing. She just needed to be in community with other people who she felt were as broken as her, that accepted her. And that's where she did a lot of her work. And I feel about how we need our connections to our fractal families, to our people who get us, who help us remember our precision, help us remember. You and another friend the other day helped me step back into remembering my impeccability when I was in a lost space. And I think we need each other for that, whether it's in a 12-step program or a support group of some kind. So, anyway, I don't know where we went on that, but let's do that. Yes, please. Do you want to teach it? Because you kind of got it.
All right. So the mudra, if you take your right hand, I think this is right. You take your right hand. Now lay your left hand on the back of it and weave your pinky to pinky, and then your ring finger to ring finger, and your middle finger to middle finger. Now hold it up in front of you and put your finger and your thumbs together so it kind of looks like okay signs. And this is the symbol and the mudra for impeccability. That it's balanced on both sides of the hemispheres, feels like to me.
Hmm. And yet very much one. It also looks like a trinity, right?
Right.
Um, and I have a feeling this would be the kind of activity that if we taught it to children, help them balance their right and left brains. Um, I bet it makes a big difference on that. Yeah, and now I remember how I remembered last time. Thank you for teaching it. I had to put my palms or the backs of my hands together before I could weave it. I couldn't do it the other way. I just couldn't get it to work. So anyway, thank you for that.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I I also feel that when we are in our impeccability, we see others' impeccability, which allows us to raise the space for the collective. So let's do that today, shall we?
Yes, with so much love, so much love.
Take excellent care.
Until next time.